All right, but guys, we're back again for another stream. Left today, we are actually on schedule. We're gonna be we're gonna be doing Psych Soch yet again. I think after today, I think I know what the method is. I think I genuinely just need to I just need to watch the videos beforehand because I think the thought of watching like 2 hours worth of videos of like review videos during the stream, like in addition to doing the cards themselves, it sounds like too much. So I feel like it's probably better for me to just do it all at once. Like do not do it all at once, but like for me to separate it throughout the day. Like to a degree, I kind of even want to do the reviews separately. Since you guys already see me like looking over, like going through those cards, like most of the time when I'm doing the reviews, I'm not like looking something up, um, or like there's no extra work that's really going in there. Maybe like the first couple times, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure to be honest. But I'm considering doing the reviews offline and then just coming to the stream to do the new cards, and that way I cut a massive part out. Um, Not even a massive part, I guess. It takes like 20 minutes to do the reviews, but it would be more spread out throughout the day, and it would make it so like 20 of those minutes aren't spent doing doing that, and maybe I would be able to get in like maybe a cars passage in that time, and yeah, I just feel like that might be easier. All right, but we can honestly get into it. We'll do we're gonna do psych social again. I was looking into the rest of the sections to see if maybe I could do the other ones, but to be honest, I think psych social is just it might genuinely just be the method right now, just for the time being. We're gonna of course start the same way that we always start. Uh, we just put zero cards on it. 6% through. 414 out of 414 out of 500, 5,187. So what is that? We're like basically 500 out of 5,500. So 1/11th of the way, whatever that is, a little less than 10% or something like that. 414 divided by 414 plus 5,187. Yeah, like 7% then. Oh, bro, it says it right there. Yeah. All right. I'm clearly off something right now. Um, I should look at this after I finish the review cards. I'll look at that. Where are non-metals found? Look, let me turn on um my quote unquote Anki remote, aka my PS4 controller. Where are non-metals found? They're found on the right side. What is Hun's rule? Um, Hold up. Okay. Let me make sure. Okay. What is Hun's rule? Um, Hun's rule is it says you can't be greedy, so like like every orbital has to get one electron before they can pair up. The one is to push fluid through the cochlea, somatosensory homunculus. The I think this is the force used to pull on a electron in a bond. Yes. Process of transduction cascade. A beta fibers. It's the pKa at which the group or Is it the group or the amino acid at which the group is neutral? Nah, it definitely has to be. It definitely is the amino acid. The amino acid is neutral. Um, Sensation. It means that one of its electrons is in a higher energy level or higher energy shell than normal. The ossicles, cysteine structure. It's just because I haven't drawn an amino acid in a long time. We'll draw the whole thing out. Oh, bro. Okay, hold up. Sorry, guys. That was just a fluke. Um, CYS and C, and it's polar. Long. Um, Photoreceptors. The back, the optic chiasm. What is a prosthetic group? It's covalently bonded molecule that from which a protein derives its function or derives a part of its function. A sense that doesn't synapse is olfaction. The liberal strategy is to identify the position of an orbital, of an electron. Describe 1/20th of a proton. What the hell? What it a blank is a designation olfactory glomerulus. What is ionization energy? Periodic trend. It's it's y equals x. What does the magnetic quantum number tell you? It tells you um it tells you the orientation or what type of subshell, I guess. It's did I say the shape? Okay, yeah, I have to go back to that, bro, because I got that wrong. Light is an electromagnetic wave. Parallel processing. It means that energy comes in the form. Energy only exists in whole numbers. It comes in the form of discrete packets. Yeah, same thing. I just said it the wrong way around. At the base of the cochlea is high frequency sounds. It's a substance that simulates the sense of taste. A tastant. The Planck relation. It's E is equal to HV, where V is equal to C divided by F. And H is 6.636 times 10 to the negative 34 joule seconds. The particle cellular pathway. Motion and depth. What's happening when an electron is promoted to a higher energy level? Um, when an electron is promoted to a higher energy level, um, it absorbs energy, blood vessels. It is a layer around a molecule by its nearby solvent molecules resulting from electrostatic interactions. Sensory narrow hearing loss. Herbiform plate um, separates the olfactory epithelium from the brain. The is salty and sour. Feature detection. Um, a molecule attaches to the GPCR on the olfactory epithelium. The That causes the G protein to open ion channels. The ion channels lead to an active potential. The active potential travels through the cribriform plate to the glomerulus. From the glomerulus, it activates a mitral tufted cell. Mitral tufted cell travels to the brain. A synapses on the brain. Anosmia. Inner ear includes the semicircular canals and cochlea. Is an extension from the brain with a bundle of nerves, consisting of a bundle of nerves that send little projections through the cribriform plate to the olfactory epithelium. Olfactory chemoreceptors, kinesthesia, um, y equals x, but in the opposite direction. In response to pain, temperature-inducing molecules being released, the TRPV1 will change conformation and eventually lead to an active potential. What does it mean for an atom to be in the ground state? Um, what does it mean for an atom to be in the ground state? It means that all of its electrons are in the lowest possible energy level, because there's no axons in the way of uh, light entering the cell. C fibers. It's mostly in the orbital frontal cortex. Um, it causes, due to its unique rigid structure, it causes kinks if it's placed in the middle of a secondary structure. So you find it typically in alpha helices at the beginning and in beta sheets at the turns. Circumvallate papillae. The iris. Vibrational theory of olfaction. The basilar tectorial. Second quantum number is the azimuthal or angular momentum quantum number, aka L. Humans can hear frequencies between 20 hertz and 20 kilohertz. There's a monocular cube where closer objects are relative size. So every sensory receptor binds to a specific stimuli and is directly linked to the brain. The labeled line, I'm gonna say labeled line theory. It says that no two electrons can have this exact have can have identical can have the same four quantum numbers. From the left side, it's left nasal and right temporal. C fibers. It downregulates pain and temperature. Um, its color, form, high levels of detail, and spatial resolution. Low frequency. Sweet, sour, bitter, salty, umami. Um, Fungiform, foliate, and circumvallate. You need pressurized sound waves and hair cells. The malleus, the incus, and the stapes, or the hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup. Proprioception. Light is initially bent at the cornea. Scotopic vision. Damn, I should have read that better. Optic discs. Middle ear is the area with the three ossicles. Um, they are they lack luster. They are brittle. They may be gases, and they are poor conductors of heat and electricity. The trichromatic theory is an extension from the olfactory bulb. Um, the olfactory epithelium. Innate response. Asparagine is um, boom, boom, boom. And then there's going to be an amide. It's going to be ASN and it's going to be N. Olfactory glomeruli sends sensory signals to the mitrotufted cells. Cribriform plate, the gate control theory, sensory adaptation. This activates off-center retinal ganglion cells. The steric theory of olfaction or shape theory uh, is from the pinna to the tympanic membrane. So the light hits the rod gets turned off. Um, this sends an action potential through the bipolar cell to the retinal ganglion cell um, to the optic nerve and then to the brain. What is the purpose of the forequadrant? To describe the position of an electron. It's a slow. A beta, A delta, and C. Um, it prefers to be full. So like 4s, for example, would sacrifice an electron if it means that the d orbital would be half full or full. What is the effective nuclear charge? It is the attraction felt by the valence electrons in spite of the shielding electrons. Uh, it's found by protons minus shielding electrons. What is the electron affinity trend? It's Y equals X. Filiform papillae. Um, Rods. Um, because it decreases entropy. There's not as much space. Like it literally cannot move. Um, if it's in the water, it doesn't like water. What is SPDNF? 0123. Um, the organ of Cordy, foliate, form, 1/2000th of a proton. It represents the subshell with Acidic side chains have low. A delta. Anesthesia is behavioral or conscious. Like, if you move a certain way, you would accomplish a certain thing. It sends signals to the gustatory cortex. Photopic. Uh, Place theory. Proximity. Color and high levels of detail. Um, the orientation of the orbitals. Goose Deucin, Group 17. A map of the body to the brain. Um, Scotopic. Um, Motion, form, and color. Spindles, ion channels, glomerulus. Bulge out as fluid flows through the cochlea. Basilar tuning. Auditory cortex, the primary auditory cortex, temporal lobe. Pheromones. Because of resonance structures, it's resonance stabilized. The labeled line model. Amplification. The catalog of photons absorbed by an excited electron falling. Rising. Tyrosine, we already know that that's boom boom, and then the ring, and then the OH. On the sides, kinocilium. The front, the macula. The auditory canal or the external auditory meatus. Glutamic acid is the M, and the carboxylic acid at the end is going to be glue. The one letter abbreviation is going to be E. It's obviously acidic. Same law of common fate. Glutamate. The olfactory bulb. The cilia and the ear are called hair bundles. pH is higher, then it's going to be deprotonated. Valence electrons determine um, the way, like the chemical properties and the way that atom reacts. They rely on GPCRs. So when tipplings are pushed back, K plus channels open, CA2 plus channels open. Um, then there's an action potential that travels through the spiral ganglion cells through to the auditory nerve and then to the brain. TRPV1. It is the thin layer of cells that lines the inside of the eyelids. They're connected by tip links. Threonine is like this, and that's OH. Stapes is attached to the oval window. Good spatial, bad temporal. Allows animals to rely more heavily on pheromones. Um, the accessory olfactory bulb. What the rose? I thought that was the last card. I don't know why. Allows to easily ascertain the energy level of the valence electrons. Like carboxylic acid at the end of a chain of amino acids. The fungiform pathway. Uh, Bitter, umami, and sweet. Signal detection theory. Left, right. GPCR. Mesop Mesotopic. Damn. This is mesopic. Okay. I'm just gonna give it to myself. Um. Okay. So now I'm just gonna go right here. I'm thinking today maybe we'll just do 50, bro. It depends on how I'm feeling, but consciousness is the awareness of our self and environment. Consciousness ranges from awareness to sleep. State of being awake but more relaxed and not as focused. Daydreaming. State just before falling up or falling asleep or waking up. State of not being aware of yourself or the world around you. Um, Sleep. Can measure. Um, is this EEGs? Main four types of brain waves: delta, theta, alpha, and alpha, delta, theta, and there's one more: alpha, beta, delta, theta. Okay. This is definitely alpha. Oh damn. Alpha waves are associated with focus. What? Damn, I've had those completely confused. Theta waves are slower, low frequency. They're associated with drowsiness and right after falling asleep. This is definitely delta. Okay. State of being awake, but more relaxed and not as focused. Um, State of being awake, but more relaxed and not as focused. Daydreaming. Consciousness ranges from awake, alert to asleep. Drowsiness. 90 minutes. Um, Non-REM and REM. And one sleep is dominated by um, I don't know, theta waves. Okay. Beta waves. Alpha, beta, theta, delta. Alpha waves are associated with daydreaming. Theta. No, this is delta. Theta waves. Um, Theta waves are associated with deep sleep and comas. Why did I say that? Three phenomena that can occur during N1 sleep are hypnagogic hallucinations, the Tetris effect, and hypnic jerks. Hearing things, these are hallucinations. Hypnagogic hallucinations. I saw that the other day. That happened to me. Is when you devote so much time to an activity during the day that it begins to. This is probably the Tetris effect, bro. Yo, this happens to me when I go to the beach. Like you be in the water like the whole day, and then you get back home, like you get out the car, and you could like low key still feel yourself like swinging in the water. I don't know if any that's ever happened to me. The N1 stage of sleep is dominated by um N1 stage of sleep is dominated by theta waves. Um Hypnic jerks. Yo, I get this too, bro. Theta waves are, and people like, bro, like if I remember like sleeping around like family, they'll see that happen to me, and they're like, "Yo, what's wrong with you, bro?" And then I'll look at them like, "Yo, I wasn't even doing anything. Like I was falling." Anyways, theta waves are lower frequency waves that are associated with drowsiness or falling asleep. Um, Hypnagogic hallucinations. Three phenomena that can occur during N1 sleep are um, um, hypnic jerks, hypnagogic hallucinations, and the Tetris effect. This is the Tetris effect. Hypnic jerks. N2. Soften environment. Um, this is gonna take me a while to remember. Bursts of brain activity during sleep to inhibit certain perceptions and to maintain a tranquil state. There's either K complexes um or sleep spindles. All right, let's look up how K complexes aid in encoding declarative memories. That might help. How do K complexes help encode memory through suppression of cortical arousal? They help consolidate memory by, hold up, let me try to understand it before I explain it. Um, Okay, so basically, the K complexes that like spike, like this spike. So because it goes down, it's gonna suppress, like it says, it suppresses the cortical arousal to keep you asleep. But it aids in encoding declarative or explicit memories when it jumps back up. When it comes back up, it creates this window, like a window of time during which like the neurons are more excitable, and that allows like the perfect conditions for memory to be encoded within like going from the hippocampus to like more long-term storage. um Electroencephalograms, daydreaming. Conscious ranges from alert to asleep. Sleep spindles. Theta, no, delta waves. Beta waves. Daydreaming. Theta waves. Drowsiness and falling asleep, like right after falling asleep. Sleep. Hypnagogic hallucinations associated with sleep. Um, let's try N3. Hypnagogic hallucinations, Tetris effect, and hypnic jerks. K complexes. Data waves, sleep spindles, and K complexes. M2. Most dreaming occurs during REM. Drowsiness. REM sleep is important for encoding memories and okay, memory consolidation and forming episodic memories. Um, contains, oh no, pi delta, alpha beta, and the synchronous waves. Is also called, I know it's paradoxical sleep, it just didn't make sense. Non-REM and then REM. It goes N1, N2, N3, REM, N3, N2, N1. Oh damn. Our regular body rhythms across a 24-hour period. Circadian rhythm. Controlled by serotonin, melatonin. Yeah. I don't know, bro. Alpha, beta, delta, theta. Melatonin is secreted by, I'm gonna just guess a random thing, pineal. Yes. Oh my god. Activity in the blank region is decreased during REM sleep. Um, is it gonna say like the motor cortex, prefrontal cortex? REM sleep is important for memory consolidation and forming episodic memories. REM sleep contains alpha, beta, and desynchronous waves. 90 minutes. REM sleep is also called paradoxical sleep. Sigmund Freud stated that dreams are unconscious thoughts and desires that need to be interpreted. N1, N2, N3, N2, REM, N1. Believe dreams are, according to Freud, the literal meaning of our dream is known as Melatonin. Manifest content. Damn. That dreams are just our brain interpreting random impulses. It's like evolutionary something. Oh damn. Activation synthesis hypothesis. Activity in the brain region and the prefrontal cortex. Um, Depression, for sure. Poor memory, poor attention, obesity, and depression. Consciousness. Dreams are unconscious thoughts and desires waiting to be interpreted. Are a threat simulation to prepare for the real world. Beta waves are associated with alertness and concentration. Alpha waves. Um, Beta waves. Manifest content. Hidden meaning is known as latent content. States that dreams are just our brain interpreting random neural impulses. Activation synthesis hypothesis. Delta waves are associated with um, delta waves are associated with um, delta waves are associated with deep sleep and comas. Uh, Hypnic jerks. Um, Poor memory, poor attention, obesity, and depression. Are unconscious thoughts and desires that need to be interpreted. Dreams are a threat simulation to prepare for the real world. 3 phenomena that can occur during N1. And you devote so much time. This is Tetris effect. Are associated with deep sleep and comas, delta waves. Consciousness is the awareness of ourself and environment. N2 stage sleep is associated with K complexes, spindles, and theta waves. Sleep spindles are bursts of activity during sleep to um, inhibit certain perceptions and maintain a tranquil state. K complexes, I don't know the exact definition, I'll be honest with you. Suppress cortical routes, give you sleep, and aid in encoding. M2, damn. Damn. M3 is stage of sleep associated with sleepwalking or sleep talking. I don't know what else. Because you're in a similar state as being awake. States that dreams are just your brain interpreting random neural impulses. Are blank during sleep to inhibit certain perceptions. Bursts of brain activity during sleep to inhibit certain perceptions and promote a tranquil state. I think that's accurate. Melatonin is secreted by the pineal gland. K complexes suppress cortical arousal and aid in forming declarative/explicit memory. Uh, yeah. Um, N3 sleep, slow wave sleep, delta wave, sleepwalking, sleep talking, declarative memory storage. It's important for memory consolidation and forming episodic memories. REM sleep is also called paradoxical sleep because um, sleep is also called paradoxical sleep because because that's similar brain activity as when you're awake. Dreams are just the brain interpreting random neural impulses from the brainstem. N1 and 2 and 3 and 2 REM and 1. Daydreaming. Alpha, beta, and desynchronous brainwaves. Alertness to sleep. Uh, K complexes. Damn. Um, hip, Hypnagogic hallucinations, Tetris effect, and hypnic jerks. Beta waves are associated with alertness slash concentration. Electroencephalograms. Alpha waves are associated with um, alpha waves are associated with daydreaming. The literal meaning of our dream is known as manifest content. Hearing slash seeing things that aren't there. Hypnagogic hallucinations. Beta waves. Sleep spindles. Um, Drowsiness and right after falling asleep. And one stage of sleep is dominated by theta waves. M2, uh, poor memory, poor attention, obesity, and depression. K complexes are unconscious thoughts and desires that need to be interpreted. These dreams are um, uh, threat stimulations to prepare for the real world, associated with um, theta waves, K complexes, and sleep spindles. Circadian rhythms, melatonin, during sleep to inhibit certain perceptions and maintain a tranquil state. Is also called paradoxical sleep. Prefrontal cortex, suppress cortical arousal and aid in encoding declarative slash explicit memories. N3 stage of sleep is associated with slow wave sleep, theta waves, no, slow wave sleep, delta waves, um, sleepwalking or sleep talking, and declarative memory storage. Delta waves are associated with deep sleep or comas, consciousness. Activation synthesis hypothesis states that dreams are the brain interpreting random neural impulses from the brainstem. Theta waves, alpha waves, Tetris effect, latent content, the activation synthesis hypothesis, delta waves, sleep spindles, N1, bursts of brain activity to inhibit certain perceptions and maintain a tranquil state. Dreams are a threat simulation to prepare for the real world. Pineal gland, suppress cortical arousal to keep you asleep and main no and aid in encoding declarative slash explicit memories. Slow wave sleep, declarative memory storage, delta waves, and sleepwalking slash sleep talking. N3. REM is important for um, memory consolidation and forming episodic memories because you have similar brain activity to when you're awake. REM sleep contains REM sleep contains um, alpha, beta, and desynchronous waves. N1, N2, N3, N2, REM, N1. More susceptible to poor memory, poor attention, obesity, and depression. Beta waves are associated with alertness slash concentration, manifest content. Sigmund Freud stated that um, dreams are unconscious thoughts and desires just that need to be interpreted. Um, Theta waves, sleep spindles, and K complexes. Um, Sleep spindles. Dreams are threat simulations to prepare for the real world. Suppress cortical arousal to keep you asleep and aid in encoding declarative slash episodic memories or explicit memories, not episodic. Associated with slow wave sleep, declarative memory storage, delta waves, and sleepwalking slash sleep talking. Dreams are the brain interpreting random neural impulses from the brainstem or pons to inhibit certain perceptions and maintain a tranquil state. Okay, that was our 50. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna look at the next 25 cards. If it's crazy easy, I'll consider doing it right now. Only if it's crazy easy though, to be honest with you. Um. Okay, yeah. This we like the 50 literally perfectly marked exactly where I didn't want to start. To be honest with you, that next part of 6B is going to take me ages to get through. Ages, I promise. Whenever I come back to 6B, like you might see me honestly skip over 6B, but I'll be honest with you. All right. So, um, since we've been doing the Jack Weston every day. Uh, let me let me get that. Let me pull that up. Um, did I not? What is there no? Did I? I think yesterday I must have done. I think I must have done the daily passage. I did the daily passage already because I'm doing it early. Um, what do I even do now? Uh, do they have? Let me see if they have like. I just want to see like the list. I need to find the list of all of the daily passages. Um, okay. I think okay. So I did do some of these. I didn't do this one. This is the one that I missed. Okay. All right, pause that. Then all right. All right. There we go. So okay. And let's do it. We're just gonna stop it there. Let's see. This has to be right. Okay, thank you. This is literally exactly what it said. Thank you. Take that. This is also exactly what it said. Thank you. This one I wasn't completely sure of, but let's see. Thank you. If this isn't right, okay. All right. That was easy pickings. Like, I'm happy to see that. We can go to the last one and see. Well, we can read all the reasons why this one was wrong because this was the first one that I was unsure about. Um, how is this too? How is A too extreme? Yeah, that's pretty much how I was thinking about it. It was realistically, uh, I mean, it's just like they had to be painters because if it wasn't painters, then our theory didn't make sense. Like our theory professors, I don't think it would have made sense because it seemed like it was analyzing more to show to a like I don't know, emphasize the features that make the analysis like even feasible at all. It it kind of attempts to make it possible to paint those things by describing what he did right. But I can see art theory, I guess. Let's see why art theory was wrong. Okay. Well, our first day getting a 100. There were no hard questions today. That makes sense, to be honest with you. That makes complete sense. Well, I think that's gonna be all for today. Um, Technically, last week I did do Friday as the off day, but because I had a lot of off days already, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Um, so I mean, I probably will just so maybe I can get in that final 75. I might do it earlier on in the day, maybe around like the evening, since that makes a little more sense. Um, but yeah, so Thank you everyone for watching. This was a lot earlier of a stream. We did a little bit of cards, a little bit of psych soch, and yeah, I think that was a good little session. And thank you everyone for watching. Have a good night. Have a nice rest of your day. Bye.